this short tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use a thicker cord as a supplemental weft as opposed to the only weft. And this gives you more design possibilities. So start with a few rows of plain weave with your ordinary weft thread, just to get everything established. Place your thicker thread into the space and then work one row with just your ordinary weft thread. This will help to establish, help if you actually went down under the correct warp threads. Okay, that will help to lock in that thread. So then we'll come up in the next direction and bring the supplemental up. It does help if it's on, it is also on a shuttle, but because I'm doing shorts, I don't really need to. And so again, change the shed again and do one ordinary pass to lock it into place. And then you can put your thicker thread through. And as you can see, I can leave gaps. I can make them quite large, these loops. I can decide that I want to, for instance, thread them through to make designs before I come back around. You can actually work some really interesting designs as you go. But we'll stick at the moment to just the plain weave. Because the cords are quite, usually quite stiff, you don't usually need too much by way of a gauge to get your loops the same. Just keep an eye on them. You can usually manipulate them a little bit anyways. But if you find that you really want an exact spacing and it's a large spacing, you can use a gauge in the same way as if you were creating a fringe. If you're going to opt for any of the more complex designs, you're probably better to do those on a loom that has a cloth beam, just to free up your hands to be able to do the designs. But with a little bit of perseverance, even on a tape loom, you can get some quite complex designs using this technique. The biggest thing to remember is to ensure that your ordinary weft pulls in perhaps even tighter than you normally would, so that your warp threads are very tight, because the fact that this is thicker can actually mean that they'll spread. So you almost need to overcompensate on your plain weave pass when you're locking everything in place, just to ensure that it doesn't spread too much. You'll see that is looking like it wants to spread, so you need to really pull it in, because the next pass of that thicker cord will spread it out again. As with most supplemental wefts, I do like to finish an end at the same side of the band, just because they're going to be used as trimmings. The chances are, if they're both on the same side, you can do more to cover it up when you're actually working. And so then I would always do a few rows of plain weave with the ordinary weft, just to lock everything in place and give me a place to cut off. So there we have. So you can see there's quite a lot of different options that you can use to working a band like this.